The temperature in Baghdad on January 3, 2020, was 62 degrees Fahrenheit, a mild night, the kind where you might leave your window open just a crack. At 12:47 a.m. local time, a convoy of 2 vehicles rolled through the darkness near Baghdad International Airport. Inside one of them sat a man whose shadow stretched across 3 decades and 5 countries. A man who, according to some, had more American blood on his hands than any other living person. A man who, in exactly 90 seconds, would cease to exist. His name was Qassem Soleimani, and the moment he died, the world held its breath. But let's back up, because this story doesn't start with a drone circling 30,000 feet above Iraq. It doesn't start with President Trump signing off on a kill order from his Mar-a-Lago resort. It starts much, much earlier, in the hidden architecture of American foreign policy, in the careful calculations of generals and spies, and in a question that had haunted Washington for years. What do you do with a ghost you can't catch? For 2 decades, Qassem Soleimani moved through the Middle East like smoke. Head of Iran's Quds Force, the elite special operations unit of the Revolutionary Guard, he was architect, warrior, and diplomat rolled into one. While most generals stayed behind desks, Soleimani was photographed on battlefields from Syria to Iraq, always dressed in the same olive fatigues, always with that slight, knowing smile. He wasn't just commanding proxy forces. He was building an empire of influence, brick by bloody brick. American intelligence had been tracking him since the early 2000s. They knew his patterns, his safe houses, his favored routes. They'd come close to killing him before, multiple times, but there was always a reason to hold back. In the days before January 3rd, tensions between Iran and the United States had been escalating like a fever no one could break. Iranian-backed militias had been launching rockets at American positions in Iraq. One attack killed an American contractor. The U.S. responded with airstrikes that killed 25 militia members. Then thousands of protesters, many of them connected to those same militias, stormed the American embassy compound in Baghdad. They smashed windows, set fires, spray-painted death threats on the walls. For 2 days, American diplomats sheltered inside as smoke filled the air. It was humiliating, dangerous, and it triggered something in the decision-making apparatus of Washington. Because suddenly, the man who had always been too risky to kill became the man they couldn't afford to let live. Intelligence came in. Soleimani was flying to Baghdad. Not hiding, not sneaking, flying commercial like a businessman on a routine trip. He would land at the airport just after midnight. The window of opportunity was narrow, maybe hours, before he disappeared back into the labyrinth of safe houses and proxies he'd spent a lifetime building. Pentagon officials presented President Trump with options. They always do this, present a menu of choices, from mild to severe. The most aggressive option is usually there as a contrast, to make the others look reasonable. This time, that most aggressive option was kill Soleimani, take him off the board, send an unmistakable message. Trump chose it. Now, imagine being in that operations room. Banks of screens showing drone feeds, satellite imagery, communications intercepts. Somewhere above Iraq, an MQ-9 Reaper drone is circling, invisible, patient. Its sensors can read a license plate from 3 miles up. Its missiles can strike within 3 feet of a target. The convoy appears on screen. 2 vehicles moving through the sparse traffic near the airport. Intelligence confirms. Soleimani is in the second vehicle. With him is Abu Mahdi al-Mohandes, a senior Iraqi militia commander. Someone gives the order. The drone adjusts. For Hellfire missiles drop through the night sky, each one a pencil-thin line of smoke and fire. They hit within seconds of each other. The vehicles don't just explode, they vaporize. The force is so intense that investigators later struggle to identify remains. Qassem Soleimani, the man who had survived wars, assassination attempts, and decades of playing the world's most dangerous game, dies instantly. He was 62 years old. Here's where the story gets terrifying. His funeral procession in Tehran draws millions, not thousands. Millions. People weeping, beating their chests, calling for revenge. The supreme leader, Ayatollah Khamenei, promises severe retaliation. He's crying as he says it. American forces across the region go on highest alert. Warships move into position. Fighter jets are armed and ready. Iran's military prepares for war. In private conversations, European diplomats start using a phrase they haven't uttered in decades. Regional conflagration. Polite way of saying everything burns. January 8, 2020. For 45 a.m. Iraqi time, Iran launches a barrage of ballistic missiles at 2 American bases in Iraq, Al-Assad and Erbil. 12 missiles in total. These aren't crude rockets. These are precision weapons, each one powerful enough to level a building. American service members have minutes to take cover. They scramble into bunkers, some of them texting what they think might be final messages to loved ones. The missiles hit. Explosions light up the desert like lightning strikes. Buildings collapse. Equipment is shredded. And then, silence. When the sun comes up and commanders start doing roll call, they discover something miraculous and strange. 0 Americans killed. 0. Later, intelligence analysis reveals something extraordinary. Iran had warned Iraq that the strikes were coming. Iraq warned the United States. The missiles were aimed at structures, not barracks. President Trump tweets, "All is well. The crisis, impossibly, begins to wind down. Both sides step back from the brink. The world exhales." That's it for today. If you liked the video, we would appreciate a subscribe to the channel. It really helps us grow. Thank you. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.